What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. He is Joique Bell, former Lions great. He is D-Mac Darren McCarty, four-time Stanley Cup champion. Arturo from the Flint town is back in the producer's booth today. And, we have Fish in the Bowl as well. Still working on that corporate sponsorship for the Fish Bowl. But most important, you guys back with us, and we take all your interactions all show long. Remember, if you haven't downloaded the Woodward Sports app, do so in the App Store, on the Google Play Store, and take us around wherever you go. But we're getting it rocking and rolling here on a Wednesday. Hey guys, good to be back with y'all. Hey man, hump day.
Great to be back.
Joique, we got to talk about that Bulls hat, bro.
What's up?
Is there a reason,
Yeah.
Joique? Is it a style thing, or are you a Bulls fan?
I would say I was a Jordan fan.
Okay.
Up. I was a Jordan fan. And so, have on the Bulls hat with the Ferraris.
So there it is, Neal. See, just let you know, it's not more so. It's more so because of
with the Ferraris,
look at the Ferraris and the way, and that pops with those shoes. So
yeah, pop.
a lot of times you got to give in a little bit.
You know what?
No.
But a lot of respect. But a lot of respect for Jordan in this era. I know we had Stick in here earlier, and he hated the Bulls. He hated Jordan.
Well, I
said, did you hate Jordan or did you respect him? And what did he say? He said he respected him, but he also hated him because he was so great. But he respected him because he was so great. I don't know how that correlates, but you either hate him or you respect him.
No, you can respect.
You respect him.
That's what we try to get Maz to do with Brady, right? Where we got him to Brady.
And it's been like an 8-year process for us, D-Mac.
Oh my gosh, he's come along.
He's come a long way.
But hey, props to it because anything that adds your ensemble.
Yeah, but the problem for me is, obviously, I hated Jordan, being the bad boys here, born and raised in Detroit. Hated Jordan, hated the Bulls.
But you got to respect what he said about us on The Last Dance.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that was North Korean propaganda, but no, I will give you that, though. I will give you
North Korean
that.
propaganda?
Yeah.
No way.
A lot of that was.
Well,
anytime
North Korea.
Anytime you slander Isaiah Thomas, I got a problem with that. And Jordan made a career out of slandering Isaiah Thomas because pound for pound, Isaiah Thomas is one of the greatest players to ever play the game.
Well, he slandered him because he owned him.
Did he? Check the records.
Thomas.
Oh, Isaiah owned him. Yeah, $1,000,000%.
You have that. It's sort of the respectfully, and you mentioned it, Joique, about the Last Dance documentary, and you can see as we all get older, we get a little bit softer or come around with maybe I was a little too hard, but you never hear him say the things that he said in the Last Dance when he played. So
yeah,
a lot of us
absolutely.
athletes are like that.
And I talked about this a couple weeks ago when we first started getting rolling here on Woodward Sports Network. I had that moment with Larry Bird. Looking back, I feel bad that I hated him and hated the Celtics to the degree, Joique, where you said you can't hate someone and respect them. I had zero respect for the Celtics. Zero respect. Oh my God, I hated the Celtics to the point where when they were on television, because the NBA was on TBS back then.
Why did you hate him though?
I probably because we couldn't beat them at the time. I hated when they played at Boston Garden and they always won and weird shit always happened and that's how they won. They got every break all the time. And I hated Larry Bird. I hated Kevin McHale, the way they spoke about the Pistons. And there was the degree of the national media, the CBS people, all that stuff. They don't want Detroit in that. Boston, L.A., Magic, Bird, great theater, great television theater, great television ratings. They didn't want Detroit in there, man. They didn't want us, the blue-collar, hard-working. They didn't want that.
All right, how do you feel about my hat? You like it?
I'm waiting for you to say, "Oh, okay, that's great." So, yeah, whatever.
I was just asking a question.
I can't tell with you if you're gonna cut me off. It's an okay hat, I guess.
I like it, Joique, because it really pops those Ferraris.
Okay.
Yeah. I will give you that. The hat is pretty fresh.
It's pretty dope. They got one of the best logos. They had one of the best logos. Like, come on now. They have one of the best logos as well. So I'm not gonna hate on them. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not a Bulls fan. I was a Jordan fan. But I guess
what hurt me was when Rodman went there, because I will always love Dennis Rodman. Will always love Dennis Rodman because he's a guy. I think that's what was so endearing about Isaiah and Rodman, because they were Detroit, right? Like Isaiah never got the credit he deserved, but he was a superstar. Make no mistake, he was a superstar in the NBA. And Rodman was the lunch pail guy. There were those games he had 0 points and 22 rebounds.
He didn't care.
Self-aware. You've always talked about this, D-Mac, and one of the great lines that you've ever said to me. I was self-aware of who I was as a player. Dennis Rodman was the king of being self-aware.
Absolutely. I think that's what makes the greats great. And you know what? I believe both can be true. That you can dislike a guy but respect him. You know, a lot of times I find myself that way with LeBron James. Right, I understand it, but like sometimes it's just the theater that goes around it. So to each their own, and you know, Joique's his own man, and the fact that I think a lot of times we do have teams we don't like or teams that we necessarily don't cheer for, but we love players on that team.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. David Schultz says on the YouTube thread, he says, I respect Michael Jordan for growing up, learning, getting stronger, and making his game better to beat the bad boys, but I hate him for beating the bad boys. But David, I will say this. I always felt like the Pistons got shortchanged in that, because everybody always said, well, age beat the Celtics, not the Pistons. But they're like, oh, Jordan rose up and beat the bad boys. It was the same shit to me. That was the exact same thing. Jordan gets credit for it. Isaiah gets penalized for it, but such is life. Isaiah changed the culture of a franchise, of a city. He put everybody on his back, man, and delivered. Yeah, what do you got, Art?
I need to figure out if this is factual or not. Chad, but not that Chad, says that the Bulls logo upside down looks like a robot violating a crab. So, Joique, I need you to flip that hat upside down to see. No, like, take it off your head. Don't worry, your hair's fine. You need to flip it upside down and see. No, you can't do that. It's physically impossible. It literally looks like a robot violating a crab.
I'm terrible at that, though, Arturo.
It does.
Yeah. I'm terrible at, like, the ink blot game. Is it a woman? Look, is it an old man? Or is it? I'm terrible at that. I never see that
if you're
stuff.
good at that you're a serial killer. And sadly, I'm really good at, like, the ink blotting stuff.
Now it's all coming together, Arturo.
Flint Town, that's how they do it there. So.
It certainly is all coming together.
Flint Town's very own.
Flint Town's very own. They're claiming them. No, but it was. But I do respect him for what he did in the business world, though, Joique. I will give you that with what he did with the Jordan brand, and it's cool. I own pairs of Jordans. I got a pair when I was a teenager.
Was that the biggest mistake Adidas ever did?
No, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely it was. That was pretty stupid of them. But, hey, it's great to have those discussions, and I'm not going to kill you on it, though, Joique. I do have a minor problem with it, but that's all. You're still my guy, man.
No problem. You get over it.
Yeah, right. We'll be all right. Speaking of all right, Miguel Cabrera continued to be all right after hitting home run number 500. He hit number 501 yesterday and hit it about 6 miles into the upper deck where Mark McGwire used to hit those things when he played for the Cardinals. And, we're showing it right now.
I was one off. If that was 500, I said he's going to pull it down the line, so he's going to try to sneak some cheese on him. But yeah, I think that the best part right here, and it was the question of, do pros feel pressure even at that level or whatever? And Miggy himself had said, now he can go back playing some baseball. A couple hits yesterday. We heard from Double D, Dan Dickerson, when he was talking about it here on the Monday show, is the fact that he has the ability to heat up and put, 12, 14 hits, in a series or two series, and he gets closer to now he's 43 hits away, and he looked comfortable last night. He looked like back to the old Miguel. Not that he was pressing, he was taking what he got, but who knows? But that's awesome. Hitting a Big Mac land.
No, it was an absolute bomb. Do you feel that though, Joique? Because just in that video clip of him going around the base, he looks more relaxed, more, he looks different.
He was running around the bases. I don't know.
Just his reaction and everything and the point and all that. Because the ball was.
I think the swag of him looking at it is more so showing, this is what I do.
That too, yeah.
That's what I'm looking at.
It's an engaged Miguel Cabrera.
I'm going to take my time. I'm going to take my time walking around.
Yeah, watch this one.
He could have ran around the bases, touched home plate, went in and got a drink. The ball still be in the air.
Yeah. Now, I did read somewhere on Twitter. It wasn't confirmed. It wasn't through like an official news source. I should have retweeted it now that I think about it, but I didn't. I read somewhere in one of those collectors, because I'm a little into memorabilia, not a ton, but I like it. I got some stuff at the house. But I read somewhere that fan sold the ball for $700. Somebody came up to him.
501?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That offered $700. Would you sell number 501 for $700? I think I would have kept it. Yeah, I would have kept that.
I think I would have kept it.
Would you sell home run number 501 for $700? Me neither. I would have kept that one. I would have sold 500 for like the 50 Gs or 75 Gs. I would have done that.
Is that what you think that would have gone for?
That's what memorabilia people were saying. Somewhere between 50 and 100, depending on the market. But yeah, I did see a lot of people talking on social media. They were disappointed. A lot of baseball people too. They were disappointed that it wasn't a bigger deal. The Miguel Cabrera thing wasn't a bigger deal. And you know what? I mean, in retrospect, like looking around, the lack of quote-unquote love, I guess it got, I kind of agree with that. Didn't you think it was going to be a bigger deal?
I think it would have been a bigger deal if he did it right away. As the time went on through the homestand, it's just
That's
like
fair.
anything else. It peters out, right, as you're waiting for it. So I think it would have been a huge deal if he would have done it in the first 2 or 3 games on the homestand. But the fact that he did it, it still doesn't go away. It's history, and people might come back and go, hey, we didn't appreciate that as much. But I think that the appreciation will be when he gets to the 3,000 hits, because he puts himself in that, less than 10 people in history have done it.
And I heard some discussion this morning that I was listening to that people were talking about that, like the names of the lists that he's on. And once he gets to 3,000, there's going to be, those lists are going to be even more exclusive.
That's what I'm saying is that when he gets there, because that, yeah, and I'm not saying 28 guys out of 20,000 that have played. That's a pretty big deal to hit 500 home runs. But when you get into single digits of only doing it in any sport, come on, that's all world. And maybe then he'll get more props.
And is it weird how these franchises, right? We have all of these big name guys who come in. Now, we might not be winning as much as we would like, but we always have these big name guys who come to these teams and have a great career, right? From Barry to
Calvin, all the way back
Calvin.
to Cecil Fielder to Steve Yzerman before the Cubs. I mean, yeah, that is a great call. Grant Hill with the Pistons.
Yeah.
There has always been a draw, at least.
Right.
It's not like we've been the Florida Panthers here.
Because we're so hot and cold.
As a team's ups and downs, you mean?
Hot and cold. Joy, come on. Just give me
it's
one.
not. But you're wrong, Art.
Yeah.
You're wrong, Art, because it's football season.
What if you wanted to bet on how
but
hot
you
and
gotta
cold some
bet
people
on
would
it.
be?
Right?
Give me something.
You want to bet? You want to bet?
I was trying to get
D-Mac.
to it, but you wanted to go hot and
And
cold.
cold.
But I guess you could be
It's
hot
my
and cold. But
bookie.
if you
And
wanted
we
to go
wanna
to where
bet.
our studio sponsor,
You're right, D-Mac.
mybookie.ag, you can bet on whatever you want. Are the lines going to be hot? Are they going to be cold this year? 18 games you got to choose from. Go to mybookie.ag. Use the code Woodward. Your first deposit will be matched up to $1,000. Yes, that's free money. You can look all along. They got college football odds, over 500,000 in contest prizes live on site, making this winning season the best ever at MyBookie. So go to mybookie.ag. Use Woodward. Get the free money. Do it like we all do it here. Heck, they'll probably even have the odds on whether Miggy will get 3,000 hits this season. So check them out, mybookie.ag. Use the code Woodward. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. He's Joique Bell. He's Neal Ruhl. I'm Darren McCarty. We are Big D Energy. Woodward Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Joique Bell, Darren McCarty, happy to have you along for the ride, taking your comments, the interaction, man. You guys, love you have for the show. Certainly do appreciate that. You guys are involved from start to finish, and we'll be getting to those as the show rolls on. But we were talking about Miguel Cabrera and that home run, and as it turns out, he didn't even have the longest home run of the Cabrera family. His nephew has turned out to be a pretty good little league hit. Check this out here. Look where this thing goes. That's his nephew. Look at that. Now watch when he runs by the second baseman here. Miggy's nephew versus the size of that second baseman.
13-year-old.
Are you sure we're not watching Miguel Cabrera when he was
look
little
at
leaguer?
this.
Joy, you
Look at
mentioned
that swing. Look at that swing.
Dude, it's pro.
Look at that.
That looks like a Joique Bell back in the day.
Yeah.
Look at this swing.
Do you have any of those moments back in Little League, Joy?
Well, you know what? So we actually had a game here in Detroit. We're in the championship game, and I remember I betted fifth. So you had our third guy, our third batter hit a home run. The fourth batter got up, hit a home run. This is in the championship game, and then I go up to bat. Now remember, the coach said, "You're not gonna hit a home run right here," and so I got up and I probably hit one of the farthest home runs I ever hit.
That's good coaching right there.
Yeah, great coaching. Great coaching. And so I think after mine, I think they switched our pitchers.
That was a wrap for him.
It was a wrap, and it was we ended up winning that game 18-3.
No,
yeah, I remember that. But
the reason I bring this up because I'm a sucker for NFL guys' high school highlight tapes. Like
that wasn't high
Mosses.
school. That wasn't high school. That was like I was like 13, and it didn't go that far.
No, but I am a sucker for that. Like the Randy Moss high school highlights, where he's so much bigger than everybody else. He's so much better than everybody else. I always, when I broadcast college games, I like to dig through their high school stats, and if somebody's got something crazy, I'll always talk about it because I love it. So D-Mac, and I wanted to get that story from you, Joique. I'm sure you, because again, I always talk about it. People may not know you were a 50 goal scorer in the OHL. Like you were a dude as far as scoring goals goes. When you were coming up through juniors, I'm sure that NHL guys in with a bunch of regular kids happens every now and then. You probably got some good stories too. I'm not asking you to brag on it or anything like that, but I do got to hear it. Do you have any like games where you scored 15 goals? Because you go to Wayne Gretzky's restaurant in Toronto. They have some of his stats from when he was in juniors. He's scoring 12 goals a game and stuff like that. What do you got, D-Mac?
Well, you know what? Mine was mine was baseball memory too. Because when we were younger, we were better in baseball than hockey. So we won all Ontario's both our type years, and I remember winning the finals and hitting one over the fence and into the other ballpark. But as far as hockey wise. That's sort of like alumni now. We like the alumni when we're playing, and sometimes we play. There's a couple good games a year, but most of the time, you're playing against where you can show guys because you lose your speed, you lose your hands. So I get to go out there and light it up, and allegedly I might be the leading scorer in the alumni. Who knows? Stuff like that. But growing up, I wasn't that player. The one thing I do remember is we played a tournament when we were like 14 years old in Chatham, and it was an international tournament. And I ended up winning MVP of that tournament. So playing against kids from Sweden, and it was the first taste of playing international and stuff like that. So as far as that memory, but I was no Wayne Gretzky as far as scoring 300 goals in 60 games when I was a kid. So there's only one Wayne Gretzky.
Oh, some bad news from Tammy Chin here. Says the Gretzky restaurant is no more. It closed last year, and they're building condos there. That's sad, man. I loved Wayne Gretzky's restaurant, and the reason I liked it the most to go there to play the bubble hockey. I'm a huge bubble hockey guy.
I used to have we used to play that all the time. We used to have one of those in the not in the locker room, but in the airplane hangar. Yeah,
we're gonna have to mix it up one time in that, D-Mac, because I got something for you as far as bubble hockey is concerned.
Okay, all right.
It is.
I accept the Le Chalon.
It's gonna get real, but no, I mean that was just incredible footage of Cabrera's nephew just hitting an absolute bomb. So it looks like there'll be another Cabrera coming through the pipe. What about? I mean, as far as you go, Joique, I mean. Sons of athletes and things like that, like because those guys always have like big time expectations.
They do.
And there's a lot on it. It's really hard on them, but sometimes they're still great, man.
Yeah, I mean you gotta look at you have who's that? You have another Maniac quarterback now in high school. He has a lot of pressure on him, and you also have a Maniac center as well. Then you have when Drew Brees kids grow up, and you're gonna have when. Who else is it? Drew Brees. I think Peyton Manning has a son now. I mean, these guys. I mean, how do you follow that? I mean, they had to follow Archie Manning, their dad.
Right. And
they ended up being good. They ended up being great Hall of Famers.
But the odds suggest you can't get higher than
you look at Steph Curry, his dad played. You look at these guys, and it's like, wow. And even my son. I mean, nephews as well. I know my nephew he had his hindsight. He wanted to be the next me, but don't be me, be better than me.
Sure.
And so it's a lot of pressure on these kids at a young age.
I think what's important, and I'm living it because
I was just going to bring it up too.
That and this goes for everybody. Mm-hmm. Your love of sports and a professional athlete's love of sports, or no matter what, there's no greater one. It's just different. So you got to find what the love of the game. And I use my son as an example because he loved the game as much, or if you could love it more than I did, but in a different way. And because of his circumstances, he would have wanted to be a player, went and played junior, but he ran into concussion problems. He got his education, stayed in the game. Now he's the head coach of the UCLA Bruins at 25 years old, which is incredible. But it's what he's done. There's nothing to do. Like I say, a lot of times, if you have a relative or a parent that is a professional athlete, what they can do for you is knock on the door, but you have to get yourself through it. And I think that that's the biggest thing. And sometimes if you throw everything out there and it doesn't work out, but your self-awareness is you gave it everything, then it wasn't meant to be. Yeah. And hopefully it'll open up different things that you love, because it's all about the same thing my dad said to me. No what ifs, and if you find something that you're passionate about and you make it your life's work, then you're not working a day in your life. So that goes for anybody. We all love all these sports teams in Detroit, and we all love them a little bit differently.
You ever talk about that with your son? I mean, like, does he feel pressure because of the family name and everything like that? I'm sure he does. You guys ever talk about it?
Absolutely, we talked about it. And here's the beauty, though, is that he wasn't me. Right, he's a different player. He's more of a goal scorer. He's bigger. He more of the prototypical power skater. Great skater, strong skater, bomb of a shot. So
everything you weren't, right?
Well, yeah, right. The skating's where it is now. I wouldn't say he had the crazy, but he's got the covert. Like, he'll stick up for his team. You know what I mean? Yeah. You don't want to push him to the limit. He's got that subtle psychopath crazy, right? So yes, but we talked about it because that was the whole thing. Because it's so hard to get there that most times than not, you're not going to make it to that level. So what is your backup plan, or what's, B? And I know that if you ask him, he'd rather be in the NHL right now, but his plan B is pretty good.
Yeah, no, it is, and it's working out well for him.
Yes.
So that is cool. Certainly we'll keep an eye on him and what's going on out there. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we mentioned the fact, we talked about it a little bit, but the Tigers got another win over the Cardinals, and Casey Mize had a good start. And I had I don't want to say like a DEFCON threat level where I was feeling about Mize, and we knew this was going to happen at some point, being such a young pitcher, being his first year in the major leagues. He had hit a bump in the road. And I'm going to ask these guys about what is it about that first pro season that's so hard, that's so hard to get all the way through it, because you're asking your body to do something probably it's never done before. But Casey Mize made me feel pretty good. And, the win, they got the win. I'm going to say it's a big win, because in the grand scheme of things, and they're not going to the playoffs or anything like that, but I think it was. So we'll talk about Casey Mize. We'll talk about getting through that first pro season when we come back. Joique Bell, Darren McCarty. My name is Neal Ruhl.
After I tell you about Northwestern Tech.
Yeah.
Is Casey Mize hot or cold, Joique? Yeah. Jesus, trying to make up for it. Never mind. Just tell him. Jesus.
Start a new career in the industry, that's always essential. The heating and cooling industry. To learn more today, go to Northwestern Tech, the ADU. Joique Bell, Neal Ruhl, D-Mac. Stay tuned over sports.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. With historically low interest rates and 5-star service, you could pay your mortgage off faster without increasing your monthly payment. Get started now at 248-308-5000 or chat with us online. Call hallfirst.com.
Love art.
Welcome back. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Joique Bell, Neal Ruhl. He's Darren McCarty. Happy to have you all with us. Arturo, Flint's very own, though Flint's not claiming him today. Arturo, we got to sharpen him up.
You know what it is? Art missed yesterday, and he came in here today. He's not on his...
What are you talking about? I am on my game. I've done everything other than the live reads. Okay, sorry, Joique.
Live read, the camera's back and forth.
No,
Somebody's talking.
You wanted me to move the camera so you could stretch. Sorry, this isn't Diva Radio Hour.
When a person's talking, you bring, like, you see how you have it on me? It's not on Wyatt. Exactly. You had it on me because I'm the one speaking. So you need to start focusing on that as well, Art. Like you miss a day. Okay. You come in here.
Well, I'm missing tomorrow and Friday.
You know, some guys have that switch you can turn off and on.
Right.
You have some guys who they just have to stay on because they don't have that ability. It's Art.
Yeah,
it's
that's me.
Yep. But when you're on, Art. So you just need to stay on.
I won't be on Thursday or Friday, so good luck with whoever's filling in. I'm sure they'll do great.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll do better than you.
No, absolutely.
Be great.
Yeah.
If Art could say anything, it would be great.
Alex listens. You don't listen.
Yep.
That's the difference between you two.
Now, who do you think was great last night? Which was surprising. I mean, were you surprised last night?
Well, all right, yeah. So the Tigers get the win over the Cardinals 4-3. Casey Mize goes 5 innings, shutout. They take him out like 78 pitches, something like that. It was in the upper 70s, which I don't have a huge problem with. The Tigers came out and said that. They're like, look, it's his first full major league season. We're going to pull back on the throttle a little bit coming down the stretch, which I don't have a huge problem with. But I was getting a little concerned because he was getting roughed up in the last couple outings, but he came out and he was great. And D-Mac, really what made me feel good about it, it's not like he came out and had 11 strikeouts or anything like that, too. He was crafty, very good, obviously. And I don't want it to come across as I'm saying, Casey Mize is a crafty pitcher. He's more than capable of missing bats, as they say around the majors. But he was a pitcher. He was a tactical pitcher yesterday. And it did make me feel a little bit better about him coming down the stretch here. But, D-Mac, this guy is going to be the central cog of everything because he's going to be that dude.
For lack of a better term, you're doing comparables. You expect if you can get some sort of Verlander out of it, but he's going to be your ace. And we're watching him take his first at-bat, 4-pitch walk, which I never got that with the pitcher up, especially like throw him a strike and if he hits it. But I think what you saw last night is why A.J. Hinch has a full grasp of this team is because you were looking for the positive. And the positive is after 5 innings and 78 pitches, after struggling a little bit, grinding, whether we want to say the dog days of summer or whatever, but being a first-year pro, is he comes out of there and he feels good. Right? He comes out of there and he feels good about themselves. The fact he got the win, the fact that they were able to hold on and stuff like that. I think that what it is typically is your first pro season. It's just like anything else. It's like anybody starting a new job and getting into it is that there's different expectations. Some things might be easier or more accommodated and you're given everything you want. But there's also, too, is you have to figure out, as we talked about, your self-awareness of who you are, finding it as a player. And a lot of times, it's not the adjustment on the field, it's the adjustment to the whole package off the field, getting yourself prepared, being a true pro. So that can take guys a little bit longer. What it shows me with the maturity is that not only A.J. Hinch, but his staff and the rest of the team, this is culturally that it works because your young guys are improving at every level. So whoever's coaching them, whoever teaching them, whatever veterans are there to give them the advice, they're listening, and it's proven. And what I'd like, too, is to read a tweet that Casey Mize says is that him and Tarek Scuba were talking about it, that they love it. Dog days of summer, they don't see it. I think it's just you might not feel it mentally because you're excited it's your first year, but physically you get tired and then you get mentally down. So more than not, I think that they're accomplishing and tackling the mental aspect, and then the physicality comes through.
And Joique, I think you're a good comp and you're a good source.
I disagree. I think you lose your mental first, and then the physical goes. Because how long a rookie season? I don't know how. D-Man, how was your rookie season? Did they make you guys do extra stuff because you were rookie as an organization, or did you guys just get hazed by the veterans?
No, we just had to buy dinner. We had a rookie dinner.
All right, so
you were you did. You got into the. See, here's the thing. It wasn't the tiered level. It's all sort of building towards accomplishing things yourself. So you'd look to the older guys and follow them around to learn different things on the road, traveling. You'd ask questions, and in our locker room, the older guys were great with the younger guys. So we didn't have that. There was hierarchy, but there was also togetherness, and that's what also helped.
That's an interesting point that you brought up, Joique. You said the mental goes way before the physical because a baseball season's 162 games. Your guys' season 16 games, and I always say it's about 10 baseball games for one football game, if not more.
Right. So we have 16 games, 17 weeks, and then you have the 4 preseason games, and then you go in the postseason. That could be another 3 to 4 more games depending on how far you go. So you can play a total of close to 24 games.
And in college, you're playing 12, 13?
Playing 11.
11 plus make tournaments
11,
or whatever.
I think it was 11. I think we went 6-5 one year. But I want people to understand your rookie season starts as soon as your last senior game ends. So, and then it's kind of like the NFL. They want to own, the calendar year. They want to own the calendar year. And so, when the season's over with in November, December, then they have the bowl games in January, and then you have the All-Star games in January. And so when I finished, I started training for the combine, and then in the middle of me training for the combine, I got the call that I was up for the Harlan Hill, so I had to go do that. And then after that, I got the call that I was in the Senior Bowl, so I had to start prepping for that. That was in January. And then after that, I got the call that I was going to the combine, so I had to train for that. And then the draft was coming up in April, And then after the draft in April, you go into the team in May, and then you're there before the veterans are, and you have to start learning the playbook. And then now, boom, you go through OTAs, you go through mini camp, you go through mandatory mini camp, and then when that's over with, then you have to stay 2 weeks after everyone else leaves as a rookie to stay there longer, to go through more OTA stuff, to go through more training, to go through more workouts, more conditioning for 2 more weeks, and then you leave early July, and then you back at the end, like towards the end of the month, and you only had 3 weeks off, and now you got to go through this long season where you have to play the season. I'm not gonna say they haze us, but maybe you have to buy food, do certain things, but it wasn't nothing terrible. But even after that, the organization will make you stay after practice for another hour or two on certain days of the week to go over more stuff, right? To go over more things like.
And you guys have the financial literacy and all. I mean, there's so many layers to it.
And so we're doing that as well, and not to think about. Some of the draft picks, they have to go to the rookie symposium.
Yeah.
They have to go do that. Then they have other things you have to do. And then you're doing card signings, you're doing autograph signings. So you're doing all these things throughout the season. It's like it's nonstop, not your rookie year. So you really don't have a break the whole year. Usually February, you have time to kind of sit back, relax, kick your feet up a little bit, chill with fam. March, you'll start working back out, but nothing crazy to where you're trying to get in football shape right now, because there's nothing you can do in March that's going to get you ready for the season in August. I remember I was with the Lions my first full year, and when the season ended, I was working out every day from February, and I was there in March. No, it was just February, and the trainer said, "What are you doing here right now? Go home." He said, "I don't want you to drain yourself mentally." I'm like, "I'm not going to be drained mentally," and that's how I was. I knew I wasn't going to be drained mentally because I wanted to be the best. And so that year, I was in there all the time. And then the next year, I was like, "Oh, I see what he's talking about. Let me go relax." February, March, start back working out a little bit, and then really pick it up in April. Because one thing as an athlete you don't want to do is peak early. And so, I mean, that's your rookie year is going to be by far your longest year.
Right.
Your longest year. Coming out of college, you haven't been through anything like that before. And so you got to give him time to get kind of acclimated with his new surroundings and the new scheduling and all that. But, he's good. He'll be all right.
Yeah, but D-Mac, I mean, what about that? Did you have that? Did you find that your rookie year, like to quote-unquote hit a wall? I mean, just because you're playing so many games and you mix in that travel and everything like that, and it's new, right? Like, it's a new experience.
It is new, but, you're young, too. I was 21. You know what I mean? This is everything you ever wanted. So it was just getting in the vortex. And I think every sport's different. Like you said, with football, I mean, you got to learn a playbook. You got to do this. You get moved around a lot. I think it's, a lot of times, too, I look at it, we had Scotty Bowman was the coach. So, he's the veteran coach. So he did things, and knowing this from playing for him and playing for Daryl Sutter and playing for Mike Babcock, they all did it a little bit differently. Daryl Sutter and Scotty were more alike in the way that they treated their players. Daryl might have been more of a coach's guy than Scotty, where Scotty would make it us against them. But you just follow guys around. I mean, it was you didn't know any better, right? You didn't know any better. So after practice, you just follow all the big guys around, either in the gym or on the ice and stuff like that. And I think each sport's different, because when we're looking at the baseball guys, there's a plan in place, right? So you look at Torkelson and Green, they sped up the plan in the minors, but you look at also Manning, Scooble, and Mize, to have them three here learning now and going through the positives and negatives only benefits them in the future. So I think each case is different. Obviously, it depends on if you're a first-round draft choice
sure.
or
and that's the biggest difference.
So if you're grinding, you're doing everything. You're playing 8 out of 9 exhibition games. You're trying to get in there as much as possible. But, again, you're doing everything you ever wanted to, and I think the fact you don't know any better is probably why.
Absolutely. But football is in the air. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Detroit Lions. They wrap up the preseason this weekend, which is hard to believe already. Speaking of football, Woodward Sports will be bringing you the Friday Night Clash. Every Friday we'll broadcast one of the best high school football games in the state on Woodward Sports Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. You can get the app, obviously. You can check us out on YouTube. Big matchup. August 27th, that's this week, 7 p.m., Oak Park at Orchard Lake St. Mary's high school football right here on the Woodward Sports Network. We'll be back with more Talking Lions when we come back.
Welcome to the Call Sam Chopper Shop, where you can win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time.
Watch as the Bad Pig Custom Team turns this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
And when it's finished, we'll be donating the bike to Volunteers of America Michigan to raffle off in support of our vets.
A great cause to give back to those who've given so much.
Watch for Call Sam Chopper Shop episodes on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/chopper shop.
Back at it here, Big D Energy. My name is Neal Ruhl. He's Joique Bell. D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Fish in the Fishbowl. Flint's own Arturo is in the production booth as well. Happy to have you with us. All your comments, everything on the YouTube thread, all the social media interactions. We certainly do appreciate that. The Lions are back at it in Allen Park for practice. They wrap up preseason play Friday against the Colts, which is, Joique, it's crazy to think of. I mean, this thing happens like this every year, though. I mean, it happens so fast. Like, you start the preseason and then boom, the eve of the season's here.
This is the fastest preseason I've ever seen.
It's cooking, isn't it? Their third and final preseason game against the Colts. There's a lot of news and notes. Dan Campbell spoke about DeAndre Swift not being able to practice a lot. He says that is a problem.
The ones that concern me a little bit are the ones who hadn't got much practice, and Swift concerns me a little bit, just with getting his wind back and being able to take a load. How much can he? Where he's at. He'll be out here today too. He'll be more involved than he's been. But those are the ones, to be honest with you. But it's always a challenge. Yes.
It's true.
So Joique, we go to you. You're the resident expert in this, man.
That's true.
That groin's a tricky thing. That's concerning to me.
Yeah. No.
You have any groin injuries, Joique?
No.
I had 3 sport hernia surgeries.
You know what they say? Matt Patricia says something that he said that I never played with him, but I have some players come back and tell me some of the things. He said that if you pull a muscle, you pull a groin, you pull a hamstring, you pull a calf, you're selfish. You're not hydrating, you're not stretching, you're not doing the thing you're supposed to do to take care of those soft tissue injuries. And he said you're selfish. And I thought about that. And I remember I pulled my hamstring a little bit in college. And it was because they put me I was the first string punter for a while during the spring game.
Really?
Because we didn't have a punter. And so I would be punting and doing the spring game.
You kick that shit well,
yeah.
Joique?
I had the technique now. I think I kicked like the 60-yard at one time. But
there you go. Hey, don't sweat the technique, Art.
I had the wind to my back, and I got a nice roll. So I think it went in the air about 60 and then rolled like another 20 or 30, something like that. So it was a nice kick. I was in the back of the end zone, and I was surprised. I'm not going to lie. I was surprised. I got a hold of that one. But but that's the only time I pulled a hammy. aside from playing in a softball league with stick.
Yeah.
And that was recent. I snagged it just a little bit. I said, whoa, I need to get on top of it. And I did, and I got back together. But no, when I played, luckily for me, not luckily, because I worked on it, I never had any soft tissue issues. Never.
You have any kind of concern level with DeAndre Swift? The concern
level,
is when Dan Campbell talks about it, that's concerning
to me.
The
concern level, no, because he has every right to be. Because when I was coming back off my Achilles injury, they brought me off of PUP 3 days before the first preseason game. I didn't do any preseason. And I started the first 3 games off in the year rushing for 1.5 yards a carry. I didn't have the strength of my ankle yet. I didn't have the wind. But I set myself up for about a month to kind of heal up, and came back, and that yard per carry went from 1.5, and from the time I came back until I finished, I was a little bit over 4 yards a carry. And you have to get some games in to get that, because you working out, training, I know we talked about how we train early in the show. That doesn't get you in football shape. That gets you in good enough shape to not get hurt.
Cardio shape. Yeah. And gives you cardio. You can breathe and all that.
It gives you condition. So it's the difference between cardio and condition. So I had to learn the difference between cardio and conditioning. And so when I started conditioning, that helped me out more than doing cardio. Cardio helped me to keep my weight down. Conditioning kind of got me into that interval training to be able to get my win. So that really got me to where I needed to be. And one way that he's going to have to do in order to get him back in football shape is he's going to have to take reps with the practice squad. He's going to take reps with the ones when the offense is out there. And then when the defense is out there, he's going to have to go take reps with the practice squad team so he can get extra reps, so he can get his wind back and get his legs back under him. He's going to need all of that. So he has every right to be concerned.
Yeah, I mean, but D-Mac, the reason I'm concerned is the same reason I'm concerned about the Okudah situation, because these are pillar guys here. When you're talking about Jeff Okudah, the number 3 overall pick, when you talk about DeAndre Swift, highly regarded running back that the Lions felt that they got a steal when they were able to get him, and we saw he can be dynamic. We've seen that before. These are the guys. These guys have to hit. If you want to be a good team, if you want to go to the playoffs, if you want to win playoff games in 1, 2, 3 seasons, these are the pillars of your team, and they have to be out there. I'm concerned because we're noticing a repetitive theme here early on. Is it over? No, it's not over, but I don't like the way it's trending.
No, it's tough, and obviously, so I think they're at the point is coming soon is whether do you cut ties when you soon realize that you're not moving forward. I think the luxury is that, like Joique said yesterday, the Lions, in my mind, as in his, have this year and next year to get it right. So if they can't stay healthy, then I think this regime will move on to capable guys. But it's, everybody's out there. With Swift down, it gives somebody else an opportunity to shine. So yeah, we need Okudah and Swift. That's common sense because of being the first and second round pick.
Because of the resources used, yeah.
But you got to hit on those, and again, what are you going to do? You look at it, like I always say, separate. I think DeKaiser's the only one left in the Holland regime with Iserman. This is still a Bob Quinn, you know what I'm saying?
Production.
Right. So these two, I could see cutting ties if they're not going to work because of injuries or because of talent earlier to move on, and you always have that. Well, they're not our guys, so
sure
they have to. If they hit, you're better quicker, obviously.
Absolutely. And the one thing that we can say too about Brad Holmes is he has made a living not necessarily having to hit at the top of the draft because he never has first round picks, but somehow the Rams are always in the playoffs, which is part of the reason, the main reason that he's here. But again, you guys, I told you this yesterday. I'm going to continue to tell you this all season long. Joique, you guys have to forgive me a little bit because I'm jaded, as a lifelong Lions fan, as a season ticket holder for a couple of years, which I bought my season tickets a year after they went 0-16. That's kind of like how I do my stock investments. After a crash, old Neal Ruhl's jumping in the market. That's how I operate. Yeah. So, just from that
money on the buy.
Yeah, buy the dip, man. Yeah, especially if that dip's been going on for like a month. Then I'm really stepping in on that dip. But, Joique, it's just, for me, because we've seen it over and over and over again, that's why you'll see me get up here in front of this microphone and people have reached out to me on Twitter and they'll say, you know, why are you being negative? And I say, I'm not being negative. I'm relating my experiences to you, like what I've been through and stuff like that. So, Joique, I ask for your forgiveness, man, because I'm jaded. I'm always feeling like things are going to end up poorly, you know, as far as the Lions are concerned.
And why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? I mean, that's our track record. But like I told you, with the old guy yesterday, even after I broke it down, he came back to me and said, you know what? I like the way you broke it down. It's never been explained to me that way. I didn't, you know, he didn't know too much about the new regime. And I changed one person's mind, all right?
Right.
Give him 2 years. He signed a 6-year deal. He's going to be here.
Which he is, yeah.
He's
no
going to
doubt.
be here.
And everyone knows that going in also.
Yeah, he's going to be here. The thing I like about him, like I've said it before, like he has no ego. He's willing to take, I wouldn't say instruction, I would say counsel from his coaching staff, and not say, okay, we're going to do it this way. But and I think you need that when you have a team and a staff of men, in order to guide men, to be able to sit down with these guys and take what they say and be able to make them feel like, you know, their hard work is not being overlooked. Right.
What you got, Arturo?
So I have Aaron Glenn talking about roster cuts as well.
Well, I would tell you, my focus right now, for the most part, is, man, trying to get these guys just play hard. You know, play hard, play within the scheme, and continue to improve. You have Brad, you have Dan. I mean, they're going to make sure they massage the roster and do that. Right? My job is to make sure I give them guys, I make it hard on them to who they have to cut. All right? That's what my job is. And some people don't think like that, but I do. I mean, I want it to be hard for us to sit in there and talk about, man, who we going to release this guy, because all those guys are playing well. Right? So that's the way I look at it.
I like that. I like what he said. He wants to sit down. He wants to coach up all the players. So when they have to sit down in that room,
he wants to have to go to bat for those dudes.
Right, but that's the type of coaches we need. All right, and you want coaches that care for you.
Explain that, Joique. Yeah, break that down, because Aaron Glenn is the guy that football people have said. Now that when he was added to the staff, they said, now that's a dude right there. That's a coach that players will get on board with.
Yeah.
Explain that.
Yeah, so you can tell when a coach cares about you, right? Versus a coach who's just there to get a paycheck. And he wants you to do good so he can get a paycheck. All right. A coach like that who can come out and say, you know, when we sit in that room, I want our jobs to be hard. All right. I want it to be hard. Coach Sean Payton, he said, listen, we didn't want to go into the season with 5 running backs. But you played so good, you made us keep you, you know. And then you have other people on your team coming to you and say, "Listen, they're gonna give you the rope. You're either gonna throw it away or you're gonna ring it around your neck. Like, what you gonna do with it?" And so you have coaches who, you know, they want to they're gonna get you to where you need to be as far as the mental standpoint, the physical standpoint, so you can play at a high level and you don't have to think as much. And that's the hard part when you go out there. You're learning so much that when you're out there, you're trying to run everything you have to do on this particular play. Okay, I got to check this guy. Okay, I got to chip him. Okay, I got to get into my route. Okay, I have 3 routes to choose from. Are they in zone? Are they in man? Do I break right? Do I break left? Do I sit down? So you have all this stuff going through your head. But once you get comfortable, right, which the coach is going to help you get comfortable by knowing who you are as a player, knowing who you are as a learner, and then making it easy for you to go out there and perform. Because sometimes these guys can perform, but they need more time to learn. And then coaches like that who wants to get his players up to speed so they can play at a high level, that make his job harder, that's a great coach.
D-Mac, what if you're in the outdoors? Do you want to make things easier? What do you do then?
Well, if you're the Lions, man, you can't coast your way into this season, but you can use the Coast Portland machete. Yes, go to coastportland.com. Use WSN20 for 20% off all this do-it-yourself. First responders, lamps, lights, all my people out there. Tammy can tell them with the lights she's found some Petoskey stones. You too. How do you get that? Hashtag How We Coast. Yes, anywhere you Woodward Sports, give me a hashtag How We Coast. And on Friday, I will be giving away a $100 gift certificate. Until then, go to coastportland.com. Check out all the great do-it-yourself items and tell them D-Mac Woodward Sports sent you. I expect to see those hashtag How We Coast on Friday, giving away $100 gift certificate.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Welcome back, Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. D-Mac, Joique Bell in the house as well. Fish in the bowl, and you know Flint's very own Arturo in the production booth. And D-Mac, you do that read for Coast. I was sharing the story with you. I went camping with the family on Friday night out at Stony Creek, and we did it raw, like just the tent and sleeping bags, and that was it. And we're sitting there around the campfire and getting ready to go to sleep and everything like that. And the fire dies down, and you realize how dark it is out there. And I told my wife, I said, I should have went to coastportland.com and got lit up.
Or hashtag how we coast.
Yeah.
You know what?
That's
equal
on me.
Opportunity lender, and you know what? That's what I'm saying. I appreciate that, and that's the one thing. It's like the machete, the knives, the lamps, everything like that. You don't realize, but this is what when I say, don't tell me what, tell me who. Go to Coast.
Yeah.
You got everything you need for camping.
It's not a big deal until it is. And when it's dark out there and you can't see anything, then it's a big deal. We got another.
Check out Fish.
See Fish right there, man.
There you go.
I love it.
Look at that thing.
There it is.
Look at that thing.
That's my guy.
In the fish bowl.
man.
I love it. We got one more clip of Aaron Glenn talking about motivating the young players. What you got, Art?
You have those young guys out there and they're making their mistakes and they're having their growing pains. How do you keep their confidence up on the sidelines and keep them focused throughout the entire game?
This is the NFL, right? It's the best game in the world at the highest level. It's hard in my opinion, for young guys to know that they're in this situation, for them just totally don't have confidence on making a bad play or not. Because the one thing we will do is we continue to get their confidence up. We're not going to put them in a position or allow them to not have confidence, even if they do make mistakes. It's our job as coaches to make sure we lift them up, right, and let them know, listen, you're a rookie, things like that happen, but it's not okay. It's not okay.
And shout out to Corey Woods, by the way, just killing it out there at Lions training camp, man. Yeah. I mean, just delivering content, making life easy for the rest of us. So shout out Corey. Go follow him on Twitter, man.
With a K.
Yeah. Corey with a K.
Corey E. Woods. Corey with a K. Go follow him.
The one thing, and to the point, it's a trust issue, right? So the coach is developing the trust. And to Joique's point, when you don't have to think about what you're doing on the field because you trust in who's coaching you, that the intentions are on the same thing. It's not like, Joique was saying before yesterday, like, you're not supposed to practice, or I'll go tell the head coach that you can't practice. Like, none of that garbage, none of that BS. What's best for the team, and that will get the best out of the players when they know that the coach who says that is in your corner.
What about that, though? Because you know what I like? And yeah, there was some coach speak in there and everything, and getting them comfortable, and when they make a mistake, don't let it sink you. But I like that he followed up with it's not okay.
Right.
Because it's not.
Okay.
This is the pros. We're playing for money. Yeah. We're playing for money, man.
When you have money on the line, it takes I'm not going to say it takes the fun out of the game, but it becomes more of a business, right? So when you have money involved, it's a business. And when you're losing or you're making mistakes and you're causing your team to lose, there's going to be some furniture moving, right? And if it comes down to it, if the coach is giving you everything he can give you and you're just not getting it, who you think they're going to get rid of, you or him? You got to think about it, all right? And so, like he said, it happens as a rookie. It's not okay, but you can make one mistake. You can make that mistake once. Don't make it twice.
Absolutely. Scotty Bowman, that's it.
Don't
make that
twice.
one mistake. Don't make it again.
Yeah.
Harrison Metzler on our YouTube thread says, does that apply to second-year players as well? And
yes.
Yes, it does, right?
Yes, it does.
Almost even more so.
Yep.
Right?
You would think.
Except here, because it's like our second-year players, our first-year players, because they didn't get coached, and almost what happened to them last year was a detriment.
Sure, but I mean...
So are you saying the players are going to get did they get a pass this year too? Is that what you're saying?
No, they got to do their work. What I'm saying, this is if you have the coaching staff that is there, because you need a guy so in our dressing room, you have to have that guy that either you can confide in or you have that relationship, and you have to find out who that is. You would hope that everybody's on the same page, but the reality is that they're not. But I will give props out to Dave Lewis all day long, because he was the buffer, even though he coached the defense, but he was the buffer where guys could talk to him, because he was a former player, and you didn't have to worry about if you were upset that he was going to use it against you or anything like that. And I think that's so important, but you're held accountable. So no, everybody's held accountable. I'm giving the guys, the Akutas, the Swifts, obviously the guys that were drafted last year who have been here, a pass until now. Now it's time to do the work. I'm not going to hold you accountable for what the past regime did to you or didn't do for you.
Yeah, because you're here.
Right.
It
Yes,
doesn't matter
you're
how
here,
you
now
got
do
here.
it. So-
And this was always my thing, too, about when you watch the NBA draft or the NFL draft or stuff like that, and Trevor Lawrence gets taken number 1, and then another guy gets taken in the 6th round. You know what? You're both here now. The path is different. The contracts are different, but the opportunity is the same, man. You're here now. So I don't want to hear that.
That's not accurate.
Well, you know what I mean. Theoretically, the opportunities are the same.
You know, I'm going to tell you this. You get drafted first round, that mistake he said you can't make, you can make that mistake 3 times.
Sure.
If you're a first rounder. But the
opportunity is there to not make the mistake at all, though.
Yeah. But and that's the thing between getting picked at a higher in a higher round than a lower round. You have less room for error. Right? And so if I go out there and I say I fumble, right, and I fumble once, and then you have a first runner go out there, he might have fumbled 3 times in the preseason.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's where the numbers game comes in. We always talk. That's your big 9
because they're not. So if I had 3 fumbles, let's say I had 3 fumbles, and our first runner had 3 fumbles, and our numbers were almost identical as far as rushing, receiving, and even picking up and pass pro.
But there's one number that's not the same.
Error.
Right, but there's one number that's not the same. They're paying him more. He has more guaranteed that year. And so for me, who do you think they're going to get rid of? And so in order for, say, a non-drafted player, he would have to outperform that first rounder.
But you know that going in, that you have less room of error than the first rounder. That goes in every sport, and you nailed it because of the money or whatever. Yeah. So you're going in there knowing that you can't afford to drop any balls, being that that's just the way it is, because they put the investment in on the guy.
I'm gonna tell you, and this is another thing they do. It can be preseason, it can be regular season. But when you're not in, right, that doesn't mean you're not paying attention, right? You're taking mental reps. So you need to know every play before that ball is snapped. Is it a run? Is it outside zone, inside zone? Is it a pass play? What's the pass pro? Who do you have? What defense are they in? You have to know that before every play, because you're taking these mental reps. And so what I would do is, it's a lot of going on in practice, so I might stand off to the side by myself. I'm not by anybody, but I know the play. I get the play from one of the coaches kind of close to me, or a player, and I'm watching. I'm taking these mental reps. And I remember I was in Philly, and I was with Coach Reed, and I remember Coach Andy Reid looked over to me and said, he walked over, and they're about to run a play. He looked over real quick. Hey, what's this play, Joy? Before the ball was snapped, because he saw me by myself, so he thought I didn't have the play. So I told him to play. He said, okay, all right. Right down in this. Okay, he got the play. And about a couple weeks later, I was standing by myself again, by no one. And so there's no way he would think that I would have the play. And he walked over, and they about to run the play. Hey, real quick, what's this play? I gave him the play again. He said, oh, okay, all right. But that's mental. Those are mental reps. So I remember when they let me go, I went to the coach, and then the coach released me. They called me back immediately to come back to the Eagles. And so, like, you always have to be prepared. You have to always have that mental, your mental tight. You want to be mentally tight and physically loose when you play this game.
And that's something for me as a fan who watches this from a distance. Now, certainly working in sports, I've got a little more taste of the inner workings and traveling with teams and things like that. You get a feel for how things happen. But, Joique, that's the one thing I've never understood. You talked about that, about being mentally locked in, and Andy Reid asked you, hey, what play are we running right here?
Yeah.
That doesn't take any physical ability to do. That flat out. That's a desire thing.
Yeah, it's
and I never understood because there's dudes, Joique, there's dudes out there that if they're not in the game, they have no clue what's going on, and they don't want to have a clue.
Listen, what I tell you, I would be in meetings with like some of the top guys in these meetings, and they're asleep. They're asleep. All right, they're asleep in this meeting.
It's like art during our show.
Yeah, they're asleep in the meeting. All right, it could be different meetings where they sleep, and then they'll call their name. Did you hear that? Such and such. Yeah, I heard it. And he'll just look at the screen and they'll go back to sleep. But when we got there in practice, I don't know how he heard him in his sleep, but he got the route right. He got everything right. He got the route right. He got the run right. They came off the edge where they were supposed to. They blitzed where they were supposed to. It's crazy.
Because it's a playmaking league.
Yeah.
And none of that shit matters. Just go out and make plays. And then when it comes down to Okudah, I mean, that's where he's ultimately going to be judged. We have nothing else to talk about right now. And Okudah's been a hot topic, but we got to move on to the next thing here. But on the YouTube thread, we'll get back to it a little bit later on. But that's the bottom line for me, is this is a playmaking. From 1 to 4:15 on Sunday, do you make plays? That's all I give a shit about. And if you make plays...
Hey, they shut up. They make plays, they shut up. No, it's honestly what it is. You make plays, they will leave you alone. They will shut up.
Exactly, man.
It's what it is.
That's why I love pro sports. Because it's about money. Make no mistake, it's not about money.
Man.
Because it's about money, and it's about winning, and it's about making plays. That's it. You do those things,
we good. Show about making money.
We good, man. Like that's all it is.
Ultimately, that's what it is. Because you play well, you get more money. If you win games as a coach, you get more money. And so you can't win games when you're not doing what you're supposed to do on the field. It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. Speaking of making money, we're going to take a break and come back. There was some news out of the Big Ten yesterday that, quite frankly, I laughed at, and I'm going to ask you guys for the floor for about 3 minutes because I want to explain this to everybody. A real world translation. The Big Ten Commissioner Kevin Warren kind of took a little dig at the SEC, which I'm sure people here they'll find humor in and they'll laugh at. But I think the Big Ten and the Pac-12 and to some degree the ACC are very desperate right now. And I'll explain everything that happened to you, everything that happened yesterday as far as the alliance. So I'm going to take the floor for 3 minutes. I want to break this down for everyone when we come back.
Neal Ruhl's diatribe coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. You're watching Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network.
You know why realtors love using Hall Financial as a lender? Because of our commitment to speed and service. We have nearly 4,000 five-star reviews already. Call today, 248-308-5000, or go to callhallfirst.com.
Welcome back. Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. Happy to have you with us. He is Joique Bell, and certainly DMAC and Darren McCarty. Also, but I did want the floor for a couple of minutes here because I know obviously there's a lot of Big Ten fans here, Michigan State people, a couple of Ohio State fans scattered about here also. But there was some news that came out of the Big Ten yesterday about the alliance, and some of you maybe have seen this, where Kevin Warren, the Big Ten commissioner, and the talk is they're going to form this kind of fake alliance with the Pac-12 and the ACC, where they're going to get together on schedules and kind of freeze the SEC out. That's essentially what they're doing. I translated that roughly, and I'll translate it a little more. But Kevin Warren's tweet yesterday was, quote, "We need to make sure we have shared values, we keep academics first, we keep our integrity, our honor, and our collaboration together." They're taking shots at the SEC, but let me tell you what this alliance thing is as far as everybody is concerned with these three leagues, because here's what it is. This was a publicity grab by namely the Big Ten, certainly by the Pac-12, and certainly by the ACC, because as everyone knows, Texas and Oklahoma have been swallowed up by the SEC. They're the alpha dog in the room. And you can say what you want, and I know there's a lot of hate with the SEC because they win every championship, certainly in football. I know that there's a lot of hate. Ohio State has snuck up there. That's my favorite, by the way, when the Michigan and Michigan State fans they stand up for the Big Ten and they talk about what Ohio State did. But we'll leave that alone. This was publicity and PR 101 because they all stood up there and talked about how they were a united front, and this alliance is going to stand true to the academic missions of the universities. There were no contracts. There's no talk of scheduling. They brought up the fact, they said, we'll take care of this down the road when all of our other schedule requirements and agreements are complete. They didn't talk anything about how the television was going to work. They didn't say anything about it. This was a PR grab by people who are scrambling right now because the SEC is playing checkers and they haven't moved their back row. And that's exactly what the SEC is doing right now. And what all this tells me is that these other conferences are very worried about what's going on. I don't know that we'll ever see this quote-unquote alliance. I don't know that we'll ever see signed contracts. This was nothing more than a press conference. This was a fight publicity press conference. And D-Mac, as far as the Big Ten goes, I mean, let's call this what it is. And I know a lot of you that are watching aren't going to like this. And I'm sorry, this isn't my opinion. This is fact that you can look up on Google. The SEC has been dominant in football. The Big Ten hasn't won a national title in basketball going on 2 decades now. I mean, that's what it is. They're behind. And the SEC and swallowing up Texas and Oklahoma and just gobbling up market share, this reeked of desperation to me, what these conferences are doing, especially that. D-Mac, there were no contracts.
There it is.
There were no schedules.
Boom.
There was none of that, man. It was just hey, we're still relevant too. Look, we're all together.
That's why. It's just all talk or all, coach speak.
Sure.
So to be, it's like sitting in it because they're okay. So usually when you hear this is what's in place, and it's when they say no, it's just an agreement between three people and then 41 governing bodies, and what that doesn't work. There's going to be this is
a gentleman's agreement.
A gentleman's agreement. What really out of all of this, and I'll first admit it's the college football. I enjoy it and stuff like this, but all this with NIL and is great and stuff like this. My concern is Ohio State being in the Big Ten, right? And suddenly deciding that they know that they have the power as far as the Big Ten, and if they decide to do anything, now if they go along with all this along the way, but when you don't have things in place, contracts, agreements, schedules, stuff like this, then it doesn't give me the legitimacy. This is just them verbalizing a response to the SEC, and like you said, the SEC just sits there and goes.
They make moves. Like they said, hey, we're going to add Texas and Oklahoma, and Texas and Oklahoma, we're in there in 30 seconds.
This at all.
No, they don't care. I mean,
they don't care.
People here, and D-Mac, when we were together at the radio station, people here that have heard me talk about this before on other radio shows that I've done. I'm waiting for the SEC to take that moment and say, you know what, NCAA, we don't need you anymore. No. We can negotiate our own television contract. We can have our own football rules, and we can break off and have our own football league, and people will watch it because we're a big event society. As I've said before, we're a social media society. We will watch, but we'll only watch the best. We're not going to watch the middle of the road. We don't give a shit if Rutgers is playing against Washington State. They don't care. They're not going to watch that. They've proven. Fans have proven that time and time and time again. This is a big event society, and the SEC, as it sits right now, Joique, I could see a day where they break off and say, you know what, NCAA, we've had enough of your rules and all your regulations.
Do you think that day is coming?
I do.
Do you think that day is coming?
But Joique, look at the mega figures, the mega money that's in place right now.
Especially with the NIL.
Right.
You can put everything. You can sort of dominate by, if you separate as the SEC, then it's sort of like a minor pro league almost, because like you said, they have the ability to go out and get their own advertisement, their own TV contract.
They do.
You nailed it. Like that is the must-see TV.
So Neal,
in college football.
So do you guys think we're closer to teams breaking off from the NCAA, or you guys think we're closer to getting an NFL team out the country?
We're probably closer to getting an NFL team out of the country. See, here's the rub too, and people.
What do you guys think of the comment about that? Which one do you think?
Yeah, I think it's NFL teams in other countries, and here's why. I don't think that people fully understand the length of the tentacles of the NCAA, just in the standpoint of when you look at, and Dan Wetzel, who is one of the GOATs going out there, man. I mean, I love Dan Wetzel.
Sports,
yeah, I mean, he's great. He's one of the best at what he does. His book that I read, Death to the BCS, that really changed my outlook on college sports, because here's a prime example. You look at the Sugar Bowl, right? We all know the Sugar Bowl. Everybody watches the Sugar Bowl, all that kind of stuff.
What's the Sugar Bowl?
Yeah. Everyone watches it. Been going on for a long time. You guys realize there's a director of the Sugar Bowl that makes about $600,000 to be the director of the Sugar Bowl for a Sugar Bowl that runs itself, that's always in New Orleans every year, with the same hotels, with the same parades, with the same TV stuff. There are people everywhere. Yeah.
So that lets you know.
Friend of a friend.
But that lets you know if he's making above, if he's making six figures in that $600,000, that what money is out there. Right, so that
exactly.
You got to add zeros on the end. If this is disposable for a guy that doesn't do anything except have this governing position, there's so much money there. And the fact that they got Texas, they got Oklahoma, that just makes them that more powerful.
That much more powerful. 100%. But that's the width of what I'm talking about here. That's why it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen soon. But I think it is going to happen, Joique. Somewhere down the road, I think it is going to happen, and the SEC would be the prime case. It's just there's so many people making so much money that are affiliated with it that you don't even realize. I mean, again, bowl directors and athletic directors and everything like that. It's a club, man.
I think we can agree at all levels, Joique, that something is going to happen, no matter if it's with these three conferences or SEC.
Yeah, speaking of levels, great segue. That was pretty good. I'm proud of you.
You guys are growing up around here. I love it.
Levels in Sun Lions now open. Come experience the next level in cannabis on Sherwood between 9 and 10 Mile. Download the app today and start collecting points. You can level up. How about that? Search Enjoy Levels in Apple or Google Play stores. Again, Enjoy Levels. You can find it in your Apple store. You can find it in your Google Play stores. Make sure when you stop by Levels today, you mention Woodward Sports. Let them know that we sent you. Big D Energy.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Back at it here, Woodward Sports Network, Big D Energy. My name is Neal Ruhl. He's Joique Bell. He's D-Mac, Darren McCarty. We're cruising here on a Wednesday, pumping our way through the week, no question about it.
Happy Hump Day.
Happy Hump Day, everyone.
Happy Hump Day. Are you feeling it in there, Art?
It makes me uncomfortable when you say hump. It's just I don't like it. So
anyway, Lions wrap up preseason play this weekend. College football picks up, and we are at the MyBookie studios. I'm just saying, put 2 and 2 together there. If you're sitting around and you want to get that action in, hey, hit up MyBookie. They got some great bonuses going on, but college football is back in effect. Pros wrapping up the preseason as we talked about. So it's time, man. It is time to go. So we've been talking a lot of Detroit Lions here today. Lions put out a tweet where they asked fans to show off their tattoos in that, their sports theme tattoos. And there were some humorous responses, as you might imagine. Darren McCarty's big in the tattoo world. The fans, a lot of Darren McCarty tats around there.
I like it. I think I've signed, I have a rule, I won't sign skin unless you prove to me that you're going to get a tattoo. And there's probably 4 or 5 around. But the most impressive one I seen a couple weeks ago, I believe. And you got to understand, right? There's the turtle.
A person got this tattooed on their arm, man.
Absolutely. And the whole thing with the turtle or whatever is where he has that is on the inside of his arm. That has to be so freaking painful, but shout out, props. I mean, that to me, that's ultimate love, and I ultimately appreciate it.
Well, as you guys know, and a lot of people have talked about in the YouTube thread, I can be soft a lot. Like I can be a soft dude. I'm not a tattoo guy. Don't have it. Joique, you got any tattoos?
Funny story. So, I would have been tatted from head to toe if my mom made me promise her I wouldn't get any tattoos when I went off to school. And I told her, okay, Mom, I promise I won't get any tattoos. And so I kept that promise. And then she made me promise not to get my ears pierced as well. I said, Mom, I can't make that promise. I'm at least get my ears pierced. At least that, which I should have flipped it around. I should have got the tattoos because I have my ears pierced, but I never wear earrings. So
yeah, I'm too soft to get a tattoo. It would hurt too much.
Was under the collar, no hands. That was I promised my mother that one. No, nothing above the neck.
So you weren't going to do the Mike Tyson face tattoo?
No, I was never going to do it. I would never get it. That's not my style. But I got them all.
Different strokes.
Mine is like, this is my legacy arm. This is the kids, and this is my memorial arm. That's
all right.
People.
Show the people again. Do a zoom in.
I got my grandfather and my stepdad and my best buddy was a bass player and grinder, and then on my sobriety date on this one, that one's new. I got the 25, and then that's my Griffin for my son and all my daughters. So yeah, and then I got my first one I ever got is on my ankle. It's the Aries sign with the Harley Davidson through it. I got it in Chicago my first year with Proby. So
that's why we get along. I didn't know you were an Aries, so that's why we're best friends, D-Mac.
He's not an Aries.
Just remember, I'm the most powerful Aries there is. April 1st.
I'm April 11th, so I'm 1-1.
You're weak as hell.
Okay, that wasn't what I was going for.
It's fair though. I mean, it is a fair statement. All right, I know we got a few more of these. Let's put these up right now. See these responses to the Lions asking for their Detroit sports themed tattoos.
That one's actually
actually
cool.
pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's not my thing. Somebody got the 0-16
on the chest.
This one is my favorite.
And this one was a good one, I do have to say. This one is the Super Bowl memorial tattoo, the Lions Super Bowl memorial tattoo. For those of you listening on the app, his arm is bare. There is no tattoo. So, I mean, be careful. All this is a lesson, and be careful what you ask for, because you're going to get it. You're going to get it. It's just, funny. I'm not a tattoo guy, but I do have to ask D-Mac.
Did somebody get a tattoo that says Super Bowl 2022? Did somebody get that tattoo?
Not yet.
Someone should.
I think we know who
Fish, you should get it.
I think Fish should get a 10-7 limo. Fish and Art both.
Well, I don't have any tattoo, so I have no interest in tattoos. I would get a shirt. If someone had a shirt that said Lions Super Bowl, I'd wear that with pride.
You know why you wear that? Because you can take it off.
You're right.
Yeah.
No, if you really believe it, you would get it tattooed on your arm, Fish.
Yes, Darren.
Does it have to be permanent tattoo?
Check this one out.
At least for
Tammy just sent me this, and this is the sickest D-Mac tattoo.
No, but those little, like the little kitty ones, the little white strip shit thing, the little boop, and then you water the thing, and then you
go get the tat, and then if you don't like it, if it doesn't happen, you can have it removed.
You realize it's like not 100% removed, right? Like they're still there. They can't remove all the tattoo. You realize that, right?
No, they do. They do, and then your pigment comes back in over time.
D-Mac, you're a tattoo guy. They can't 100% remove the tattoo, right? It's only like 99.9%.
That's a good question, Fish. You'd have to ask a guy who got tattoos removed. I would just say that, remember, it's for life, so you might want to be extra careful. Like all of mine have something that they mean to me. Every one I can explain. Oh, and I forgot the one here. I got that. There it is. The cross there. I got that in Jerusalem, in the old city, by 23 generations long, or 23 generations old, and they put it in the old way with the metal and hammer. So that was like going to Israel and going there and having that experience. But check this out. If you can see it, it's the whole fight picture.
Oh, that one actually. And I'm not a tattoo guy, but that one's pretty dope. Yeah.
Look at it. It's got the whole fight picture with the Spirit of Detroit on the top, and I think it's Dan O'Connell's. That's sick.
The Spirit of Detroit. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I
always love it when they do put the jersey, no matter who's in the playoffs and stuff, and they put it on the Spirit.
It's so dope how like the artist can take a picture, do the outline on your arm, and then just color it in.
I'm always amazed by an artist's skill.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and they're different kind of artists and different kind of genres and everything. I always am amazed to see somebody that's high level doing what they do.
It's crazy when you have someone who has to work hard to perfect their craft versus someone who has the craft and it's like it's God-given ability, and they can just make.
It is incredible.
Yeah,
it's incredible to watch. Ryan's reaction says, when tattoos are removed, the metals are broken up and pass out through your bloodstream and get filtered out of your body.
But somebody said yellows won't go away.
Yeah. So again, going back to it, as a guy that's soft, that wouldn't get a tattoo, D-Mac, how much does it hurt for real? How much does it hurt?
The soft spots, right? So, like, where you saw that first tattoo where, like, any of the soft spots, this ain't bad, but, like, any of the soft spots inside, like, this was probably the worst.
So the tender skin, not the weathered stuff that faces out.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
And and be careful because they're addicting. They're addicting. You start getting in,
What's addicting about it?
The pain? Like in an S&M way? Like you like the pain or what?
I don't know. How would you explain it, Art? But there's some sort of, once you get one, it's sort of like being into the club.
Yeah,
right?
I would say mine's just based off of boredom. Like, I get bored and it's like, I'll get another tattoo. And some of my
we can tell by, the tattoos.
Thank you. But I will agree, like, up in here, like, it definitely doesn't feel good. But, yeah, I mean, it's just based on what you like. I don't care that much, so it's like, oh, a bear on my hand sounds pretty cool, and then obviously, like, my clock is the time of my firstborn son, and now I need 7 clocks. So, I'm getting there. I have to start making more money here before I can get more hands. But, yeah, it's addicting. Yeah.
Jenna Newman says the middle of my foot hurt way more than my lower back. And I could, going back to that whole soft, like I would imagine the skin on your feet very soft.
Oh, yeah.
So that would hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the tattoos I have, I'm telling you.
Would you get one, Joique?
Would I get one? Nothing against you, D-Mac. What did Kim K said something I don't like. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't like her, but I don't really watch the show or keep up with her that much. But I remember I heard.
But you can quote her though, right?
Yeah, I can quote her.
Weird.
It was on the show because it was Reggie was on there too. Reggie was on there too.
All right, that's fair.
And so that's how I saw the interview.
Uh-huh.
And so
yeah, that's it.
No, and so she's, because she don't have any tattoos, and Reggie doesn't have tattoos either. But I remember she said, would you put a bumper sticker on a Bentley? That's what she said.
Listen, I put a lot of bumper stickers on this Pinto, and I turned out all right. So
I won't say that much.
Thank you.
Charlie Velthouse says, Mike G says Fish is looking for the 10-7 limo when he wears that Coast headlamp. But we got to get that though, Fish. If they go 10-7, you got to get the 10-7 limo tattooed somewhere. You and Arturo both.
I tell you what, Fish, I will do it. If they go 10-7, you got to say it on cam right now. You won't say you love me, but would you get a matching tattoo with me?
I'm not a tattoo guy.
Okay,
do I have
get him
to?
off the camera.
Yeah,
get him off the show.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to. You don't care about the Lions that much, then.
I do. Crackman yesterday said they're going to get 10-7.
Right. So, Crackman, will you go get the 10-7 tattoo?
You're a
they go 10-7.
You know his name is Crackman, right?
But he has nothing to do with crack, by the way, just so everyone knows.
I understand.
Okay, well, I want the average viewer who may not know who Crackman is.
Okay, so get the tattoo. Trust Crackman and get the 10-7 tattoo on you if they go 10-7.
Do it, Fish.
Or will you do it?
Fish, you can get on your finger. You can just get 10-7
with a little limo, like a Lego limo.
God, just do something exciting in your life for once. Yes or no?
To me, a tattoo's not exciting.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Yep. You're off the 10-7 limo. I said it.
Well, I'm still on in my head.
No.
So everything is.
So when they go 10-7, I'm in the limo. You guys
can't take it out of
might
his
not
head.
think I'm in the limo, but I'm still in there.
You can have the limo in your head for life. That's fine. Yeah, Fish.
And when they go 10-7 and you all guys go crazy and yada 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 and don't give us credit, that's fine as well.
Listen,
I'll give you all the credit in the world.
Listen,
man.
if they go, I don't have a tattoo either. I'm not a tattoo guy, Neal. But if they go 10-7, we'll get the tattoo to say we were wrong. They went 10-7. But if they go 10-7, y'all have to get the tattoo to say 10-7. Y'all
all right,
agree?
you know what? I tell you what. I'll make a deal with you right now, Joique, and you have to, man to man. If they do not go 10-7 this year, I will get whatever their record is tattooed on me. But if they do go 10-7, you have to get a 10-7 tattoo.
All right, agree. Okay, right, done deal. Done deal. Agree. Done deal.
That's a deal.
But Art has to do it too, and Neal has to. Neal, you
Oh,
know
well,
what?
Fish is
No.
you can't.
No.
See?
No.
Man.
No.
You almost had me. It could be just a bet between you and I. You had to get everybody else involved.
Hey, but Art has. I mean, but the bet was.
I'm
for
not
Fish.
Art. That's Fish over
Well,
there.
I mean, Fish.
Get some sleep.
But what I'm saying, but Fish has to do it because Fish doesn't have any tattoos.
D-Mac, what were you going to say?
Why do you want to? I would take that bet in 2 seconds with you.
You'll do it. Well,
you know that if you want that bet, because if you want a legitimacy about people that will ink themselves,
yeah, you should ask the tattoo people, Joique.
I got the tattoo.
This is the best bet of my life.
Okay, so then we'll do this. D-Mac, whatever record it is, I'll get
10-7
on my
or
chest.
11,
Right here on your
6
chest.
or whatever else.
On your chest.
And you got to get their 4.
But I feel like there's got to be a limo. There's got to be a limo on the tattoo.
Listen, whoever
And a
wins,
limo.
hold up. Whoever wins, they get to decide where the tattoo goes.
Oh, God, I'm not doing
You
that.
can't do that. You can put it wherever you want.
Okay, yeah.
No, come on.
But the lip
You don't make the rules.
Okay, Joy, you make the bet with Art on wherever you want to put it on him. That's between you two. Art and I are making a bet that whatever it is, and I will choose wherever it you can choose wherever you want it to
so
go.
it's personal choice, whatever the record is. If it's 10-7 and above, because that's always a possibility too. D-Mac will get that record tattooed on him, then I'll do the same if it's 10.
Art, do you have room on your forearm?
I have room right here, so I can do it like
all right,
right
so
there.
we will both. I will say.
There we go.
Right?
Yeah.
Right above the elbow, underneath with the limo and the record.
I'll do the limo too.
Blue limo
and if
and
it's
the
a
record.
losing record, it will be a broke down limo.
That's right.
Okay,
I
deal.
got it.
With with like smoke coming from the engine, flat tires.
No, tires off, sitting on bricks.
Sitting on the cinder blocks.
Can I please choose the artist to do it too, please?
Yes, and I'll choose my artist to do it. And yeah, I'm totally cool with that. Sounds good.
Oh boy, let me get to these comments here because this is gold. Ryan's reaction says, "Do it for the content, Fish," in all capital letters.
For the content, Fish.
Jenna Newman says
But I'm also doing it for pain, and I don't want
Jenna Newman
pain.
says they'll arrange a Venmo to pay for Fish's tat. Chad but not that Chad says, "I'm too damn poor to get a tat." Tammy Chin doesn't want you to do it though, Fish. Tammy's saying no. Don't do it.
I want
I think
happiness
Fish should
for my
get a
life
Henny
more than I
tattoo.
want pain.
Hey, what about a Henny tattoo? Do you know what that is, Fish?
No.
They're not permanent, but they use like a pen and it stays on for like a few weeks or something.
Yeah.
Come
Come on, Fish. Will you at least do that?
It's just like it'll come off in a week or so. But
I'm not worried about something on my body. I'm worried about when it gets on your body. The pain. I hate needles.
There's no
I can't
pain
deal with
with it.
any
There's
shots
no
that go
pain.
into my
There's no
arm.
pain with it,
there's no
Fish.
pain with the Henny.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
Live a little. What did you do for your
I'm living.
21st
I could
birthday?
just use a kitty tattoo. Boop, slap it on.
What did you
what
do
he
for
just
your
said?
21st birthday? You
Fish.
stayed at home watching rugby instead of being at the strip club like a real man.
Well, I'm not a real man. Last
Live
time
a
I
little.
checked, I'm 12. So there you go.
Detroit Batter Art says you might as well schedule the appointment right now, Art. Just so you can get an optimal time that works best for your schedule.
Well, it's weird that you say that because my tattoo artist is available in February. When they win the Super Bowl, then this could take a while,
So whoever loses, who's paying for the tattoo? The person who loses, they got to pay for that.
Oh, well, if we're talking about payment, I ain't got that kind of money.
Dude, I'll pay for your tattoo, Art. Don't you worry about it.
Thank you.
Art, Chad but not that Chad says, Art, you got a 4 and 13 limo tat loading.
Listen, I'm down for this, and I'm ready for it. So let's make it happen. We got to hit a break though.
Yeah, absolutely, we do. When we come back,
Drinks. Bell thought you were a bigger man. Be a man. What are you talking about? Drinks.
When we come back, SportsCenter put out a tweet. They listed 9 sports movies, told you to pick your favorite 3. I have one that is not on my list that I'm willing to die on the hill for, so we'll discuss when we come back.
I'm looking to bring on another
can't put it on
HVAC
him with
tech
that.
right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Coming down the stretch here on Big D Energy Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, Joique Bell, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Flint's own Arturo, Fish, the soon-to-be tatted up 10-7 limo coming for Fish. There's no doubt about that. Along Thice says, Art is a real man, LOL.
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm
a real idiot.
too on that comment.
Yeah, so am I. SportsCenter on Twitter put out a tweet where they listed 9 sports movies, and these are
one of my favorite.
These are some great sports movies. There's no question about it. But you had to pick 3 of them, and I did want to pick everybody's brain on this. I always like list, and there you see them up there. You got Friday Night Lights on that list. What do you have on there? You got Rudy, Coach Carter, Remember the Titans, The Blind Side, Space Jam, Rocky, Glory Road, and Miracle.
I can't believe they do not have Any Given Sunday on there.
Sure,
I can't believe they didn't have. The one movie out of that list, if there was 2 out of that list, but then I got 4, is Hoosiers, love that movie, and Remember the Titans. But where's The Natural, right?
Well, we can't, guys. We can't get into what's not on there. All right.
Why?
We can only pick from these 3.
You just said that you
got to
one
pick 3.
that's
You got
not
to pick
on there
3.
that
No. I got one
hill.
that's on there that I'm going to die on the hill about. That I don't think that I would be fine if it weren't on the list, but it is. But I'll die on the hill for it. But Joique, of those 9, what's your 3? You can only watch 3 of those.
All right, so are we talking about when they came out, or like sitting here right now?
Right now. You and Art are going to sit here and watch a triple header together.
As a adult,
yes,
I'm choosing Rudy.
Okay.
I'm choosing.
Show ends at 1.
Remember the Titans.
Okay.
And
PM or AM?
And you said what?
Fish.
And I have. This is tough.
Oh, it ends at 1 a.m. apparently.
It's tough because right now I wonder because I like Friday Night Lights, I like Blind Side, but I got to go with the classic Rocky.
T-Mac's dying. T-Mac's dying.
All right. So for Joique, we got Rocky, Friday Night Lights. Did you say?
No, I didn't say no.
Remember the Titans. I'm sorry. You got Rocky.
Go back to it. We had Remember the Titans. We had a Rocky. And the reason I put Rudy on there is because my brother-in-law was in it. He was one of the players. One of my coaches were in it. Actually, 2 of my coaches were in it. They were the people who, when they walked in, they put their jersey on the coach's desk. It said it's for Rudy.
Yeah.
So I had people in it. So that's why I said Rudy. If they weren't in it, I probably would have said either Blind Side or Coach Carter.
Blind Side. What you got, D-Mac?
I like Blind Side.
What's your 3?
I got Remember the Titans, Rocky, and Hoosiers.
Remember the Titans, Rocky, and Hoosiers. Okay, so for me, I have Remember the Titans, I have Rocky, and I really liked Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
Those are my 3. The Rudy thing, I've never understood the Rudy love.
It's not true.
I've never understood it. It's not a great movie. It's not this big, huge thing that everybody makes it out to be. It's made up. None of that shit really happened in real life.
Oh, that's true.
Player after player didn't walk into his office and set the jersey down.
I lived in South Bend, okay? Rudy never happened. I'm saying it. Never happened.
Like 80% of the stuff in that movie didn't happen.
Now, I'm saying Rudy was a real guy, but the whole storyline.
Listen, I tell you, if one part of a movie is true, they can say
based on real events.
Based on real events. They can say that.
Yeah,
which I'm cool with. 1%'s got to be true.
Which I'm cool with.
0.1% was based on real events.
This Rudy thing was just, it was all created. It's propaganda.
Propaganda.
Hey, let me tell you, Al Pacino, Val Kilmer, they all really robbed those banks in Heat. It's 4 hours long. It's all real. It's all real.
But see, that's my thing. I mean, Friday Night Lights was based on real events or whatever.
Okay.
But they don't get the reputation, and they don't sit there and have people all over social media saying, "Oh, this is exactly what it was. This is exactly how it all went down." No way. No way.
We got our Friday Night Lights broadcast from Woodward Sports here coming.
That's right.
Which I think that the intricacy and the excitement, because what Friday Night Lights give you that high school vibe.
Sure.
Everything that maybe Joique probably felt, or you went to high school around here and stuff like that.
That was a big dream of mine. What's that? I would tell them, like, when I was growing up, I was a fan of our boys' varsity football team. So I wasn't so as far as teams, I didn't love, like, NFL teams. I used to love players. Colleges, I did like some certain colleges, but for the most part, I was a huge fan of our varsity football team.
Joique, when I grew up in Leamington, and they used to have this Christmas tournament every year, but the time I was like 7, 8 years old, it was the junior C guys, the teenagers that would come in, and they were like the idols. You know, they come in every Christmas and stuff. So I feel you absolutely there. I had guys that I idolize, you know, growing up that were a couple years older than me, right? You want to be what they're. So I think that it's all personal, and it goes down to your personal experience, right? So the fact that you have a personal connection to Rudy, you know, I'd probably choose Rudy.
Yeah. Right, and that's cool. You know, don't get it wrong.
That's the only reason.
Don't get it wrong. Like I'm not hating on that. I'm not hating on the acting performances in there. They were great. Great actors in that. Just the whole mania.
Downplay it.
Yeah, the whole Rudy mania, all the bullshit that it's based on.
Upset, man.
You're trying to downplay it though, because you didn't downplay any other movie. Just the one Rudy. It was other movies on you could have downplayed
because it's overhyped, it's oversold.
It is.
Go back to the list. I'm gonna show you what else.
There's none of them that are.
None of the others. I didn't like Friday Nights that much. It was an okay movie.
It was good.
You want to win? Put Booby in. Let Booby spin,
Miles.
coach. Let Booby spin, coach.
That's when I knew Tim McGraw was really good in that movie too. Like playing the drunk ass dad.
Yep.
He showed some range as an actor in that. He did. So, you know, I give him a lot of credit for that. But no, same deal, though. You know, I like the high school football. When I can, I do the PA. I volunteer and do the PA at Fraser High School. Fraser's my alma mater.
Yeah.
We're getting back into the playoffs this year, baby. My guy, Coach Sklad, shout out. We're turning it back around, man. We're getting in the state playoffs this year. Fins to pop off, Joique.
Yeah. I mean, when you guys go to playoffs, what, Friday Night Lights?
Yeah, it'll absolutely be like that.
Okay. Good.
It'll absolutely be like that. But Friday night here, Woodward Sports Network, Oak Park, Orchard Lake, St. Mary's. We'll have the best high school football matchups for you all season long on Woodward Sports Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So make sure you check those out. We got some big-time matchups. I mean, you go down the schedule. I talked about Oak Park, Orchard Lake, St. Mary's coming up this Friday at 7. Going down the road, man. I mean, Chippewa Valley, Macomb, Dakota, Macomb County representing there. West Bloomfield, Lake Orion. Brother Rice, Orchard Lake, St. Mary's. There's some big time matchups. We'll get Fraser back in the state playoffs, and we'll get Woodward Sports out there at Fraser too. So we'll do it all. We're gonna take a break.
You're so dumb. I can't stand you, Joey. Just go to break. It's
all
fine.
right, hey, let's go to break. Big D Energy.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
I'm sorry. He's going to hate me. I'm trying to figure this damn camera out. Just... You're on!
Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. He's
lying.
D-Mac.
No,
He's Darren McCarty.
I swear to God.
Yeah.
Art's producing in there, as you can tell.
Art's struggling today.
Fish in the fish bowl.
I can confirm he is trying his... No, he's trying his ass off in there. I'm seeing him pressing buttons, trying to get it to work. So I can confirm he's not lying.
Right? I can see his glasses fogging up from here, so...
I can too. I'm going to put Art on the spot in a couple minutes too, and he's back there flustered right now.
We have this stupid button machine. It's the stupidest button machine I've ever seen in my damn life.
I'm really going to.
It must be in the VMix.
Yeah, it's definitely tied to the VMix.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to fluster him. And you know, there was some news that came out. And look, D-Mac, you're a big golfer. I'm a big golfer. Joique enjoys golf as well. But everyone remembers J.R. Smith, NBA champion. J.R. Smith.
They bring him to my golf outing.
You need to do that. Well,
yeah, he's pretty good though.
I don't know that you can provide travel and stuff for him though, because he's an NCAA athlete.
NIL.
You can do a sponsorship deal. Yeah, that is true. I'm programmed to think that way.
Yeah.
But J.R. Smith is going to play college golf with North Carolina A&T. And D-Mac, you and I got to talking during the break a little bit. You're curious to know if your NCAA eligibility is still out there, and I'm going to find out.
I've never used it. I've never used it, and if maybe this is something that opens up. And here's the bottom line: if he's good enough and he's not taking it away from somebody who deserves it, then why wouldn't he? And it's all up to the university. Obviously, it's going to be North Carolina. What is it? A&T.
Yes.
So I mean, it's it, dude. He's got championships in basketball, so he must be a pretty good golfer to be able to even attempt that.
And he is. I think I saw he's a 5 handicap.
I'm a 5 handicap.
Which is strong. You know, you're in the 70s. You're touching
like
70s most of the time.
To 5.
Yeah,
because he didn't.
If you work at it,
because J.R. Smith, he didn't go to college though, correct?
I believe he went to the league from high school.
Yeah,
that was during that genre.
That genre. And so he was able, because like even for guys who go do 1 year out, 1 year and then leave out, that clock is ticking.
The clock ticks. Yeah,
but if you don't got no clock.
But you don't have a clock.
Set the clock off. I haven't set the clock.
Yeah,
off.
and I'm texting one of my compliance friends right now.
Love it.
On the fly right now. We're gonna get DMAC in college golf. We'll get you to play at Oakland.
Absolutely.
Let me see.
You want to go play? For real, are you going to go play at Oakland?
Neal is working on it.
Yeah, I'm working on it right now. Yeah, we'll get some nil deals going and stuff like that. But I'm texting right now our compliance officer, and we'll see. We'll see what she says. If DMAC is in fact eligible. I just wonder what the rule,
because there's obviously like what they said with him, and the NCAA cleared him, so.
I would assume you probably could.
You might be able to sneak in. They got other things on their agenda right now. Don't worry about the golf.
yeah. They have to worry about the SEC breaking off and starting their own league. But what about that, Joique? Is there something you wish you could go back to college and play?
Yeah, I wish I could have went back and played baseball.
Yeah, you love baseball. Low key, man. You love baseball.
Oh yeah. We have a softball game tomorrow, doubleheader. Make sure you guys can check us out. I'm gonna drop the location. We have stands there. Come out there, eat some hot dogs. Take 35 minutes off your life.
Yeah, it takes 5 minutes off your life. Yeah, whatever.
Is it 5 minutes or 35?
Yeah, I forget what the number was.
I think it was 35 minutes off your life.
Speaking of hot dogs, the morning show was the only show to bring this up, and I was a little shocked by that because all 3 shows brought up hot dogs.
Yeah.
Is it a sandwich?
No. Is it a sandwich? No, it's a hot dog.
No. Because there's a hot dog in the middle of it. The hot dog's not lunch meat.
Okay.
Yeah. I have very hard lines about this.
Yeah.
Well, because technically, if you look at hot dog bun, it does have the slit in the middle, indicating that it could be 2 pieces of bread.
But isn't a sandwich in half?
Yeah, it cut in half, not split. Sandwiches cut up.
But here's the thing: Subway, they have sandwich artists, but technically it's on a bun, so it is.
It's split.
It's a sub,
right?
But it's split.
It's a sub.
It's 2 pieces. A hot dog bun isn't 2 pieces. If the hot dog bun turns to 2 pieces, you eat the hot dog alone, because 2 pieces of bun are no bueno. Correct, Neal?
Correct.
Thank you.
Well, then I've angered you multiple times because I definitely have put a hot dog bun or a hot dog on a hamburger bun and ate it. It's pretty good.
No, that's okay.
Oh, that's okay. Okay.
I mean, I've taken a slice of bread and put the hot dog in a slice of bread and done that before.
It's still a hot dog. It's not a sandwich.
Yeah.
Just like when you put the hot dog in a hamburger bun, it's a hamburger bun. Now it ceases being a hamburger bun and becomes a sandwich if you put ham or turkey or roast beef or something like that. Then it's a sandwich inside of a even a hot dog bun or a hamburger bun. But if it's a burger, it's a hamburger. If it's a hot dog, it's a hot dog. It's not a sandwich, man. It's very easy. This is very easy. I never understood the whole.
Well, I think the USDA considers a hot dog a sandwich.
Do
they?
But
they also consider chicken nuggets actual food. So I mean, where's our research at here?
Yeah, they do. Well, they consider a lot of things food that maybe shouldn't be.
So chicken nuggets. What's wrong with chicken nuggets?
Everything. It's pink slime. It's not real food. Just like the tuna and Subway sandwiches.
So even organic chicken?
What?
Nuggets, even organic chicken nuggets aren't real chicken nuggets?
Well, if they're organic chicken nuggets, then it's actual meat. But McDonald's uses like this pink slime filler to fill inside of chicken nuggets.
Which I heard that 10 years ago. Didn't care. Still eat them.
Well, yeah. I'm just saying.
No,
you can't consider.
When I heard that a person took a chicken nugget and a French fry and put it in their back window and they kept it there for like 2 years and it never changed.
Yeah.
Well, that's because of the preservatives in the food, and that's why like nuggets and French fries they seldom
So
get
if
like stale.
bacteria won't eat it, why should you eat it?
Well, they're obviously selling it, so until people pick it outside McDonald's
just don't
saying
think-
no more nuggets,
Yeah,
no
so-
more nuggets, or something like
What
that,
you
they're
mean?
not gonna.
What you mean? I mean,
Would you
sometimes-
eat a chicken nugget, Joique?
I haven't had chicken nuggets. I can't tell you how
There
long.
you go. There's your answer.
Like ever, or like recently?
Well,
Like within the past.
I grill
I've had
the breast on the grill and then just cut them up into cubes. That's my chicken nugget.
Yeah.
That's about
I've
the
had
extent.
chicken nuggets like from McDonald's in probably over a decade.
Okay, but
Yo,
you have had
could you imagine though if
Probably.
Joique ate a chicken nugget? Oh my god. Because his body's so like
I eat
he's like a walking
I eat
water.
chicken nuggets though, but it's like the vegan chicken nugget stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so
But I'm saying if you ate a McDonald's chicken nugget right now, if you had like 10 of
get
them,
sick. He gets
you would
sick.
probably die because your body's so not used to it.
Yeah,
I would not eat.
I'm with you, Joique. I'm not.
I'm
I'm,
not
I'm definitely not.
By
about
the way,
that
Chick-fil-A, best chicken nuggets.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A.
Hands down.
I was smash back in the day.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A chicken nugget. I actually just went there just to get some French fries. With
How
their sauce.
hard is it when you walk in there and like I guess it's like me with gluten, but for you it's tougher because I couldn't imagine a world without meat, so that's got to be tough going to Chick-fil-A and
I bet that will be hard for you.
So D-Mac, we do have a response.
Don't. That wasn't that good. That wasn't
You
that.
got a slap on the side of the head, Art.
That was a layup, man.
D-Mac, we have a
I appreciate
response.
it, Art.
So our compliance people at Oakland have gotten back to me.
Yep.
There is a pathway for you to play college golf. Now she said she needs to know a couple more of the specifics.
Right. But
maybe we can get her on tomorrow. Maybe we can get her on tomorrow.
Let's do it. Let's
and see
talk
if there's a
about this
path.
and-
What do you guys think about that? Should we do that?
I want to find out what are the stipulations, and we can find out. You know, obviously J.R. Smith passed through them, but if you're saying there's a chance,
Are you
God,
saying
one of the
there's
greatest
a
movies of all
chance?
time, Dumb and Dumber.
We'll see if we can
See
get
him
D-Mac and got. Hey, I'll have to. Nick Pumford's our golf coach. I'll have to hit him up, and we'll get this all figured
Yeah.
out, man.
I'm gonna tell you what, I am a connoisseur. So I just went to Chick-fil-A. So I went to Orlando for my sister's birthday, and so the whole fam came out, and I found out something that I did not. Out of all of my years of cooking, I never knew. Do you guys ever cook with the cast iron skillets?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the ticket.
I know of their power, but I hate cleaning them, and I'm really lazy.
You're not supposed to clean them. You don't clean them.
But you don't just like
No.
leave it.
No,
in
you
there.
use
You don't
paper
clean
towel
it.
and just wipe it.
You wipe
That's
it.
it.
And you
See?
take a towel, just wipe it, and that's it.
Yep.
It doesn't, nothing sticks. You can put oil on it and just.
It holds in the flavor.
It holds it
Yeah.
on and so what happened was, I never cooked with it before, and so I had 2 pots. I'm like, let me put this on this. Let me see how I never cooked with it. I was just playing with it.
Like Kevin Gates has 2 phones. You had 2 pots going.
Yeah, I had
huh?
2 pots, and so I put the non-stick over here. I put this over here, and so I turned she has an electric stove, so I turned them on, and I wait a little bit. I put the butter on both, and I started cooking, and it wasn't even close. I mean, I posted it on my IG.
I'll have to go back and look at that one.
Yeah, it's my last post on my page, and I was cooking with it, and I came home immediately, and I bought a set of cast iron skillets, a whole 5-piece set, $99.
Have you ever gotten hit with a cast iron skillet? It hurts. Let me tell you, it is not.
Yeah, it's better to cook with.
It's better to cook
It's better
with.
to cook with. And so, but it came out perfect. I mean, the edges were crisp, and I'm a French toast connoisseur, so I was able to do some. I'm a French toast connoisseur.
Yeah.
You know, so whenever I come around a family, they want me to make my French toast.
Everybody's got that one thing, man.
Yeah,
that they
that's not
cook,
what.
and it's on.
That French, I will battle with anybody. And now that I got my cast iron skillet, it's on.
What bread do you use for your French toast?
I can use whatever bread. It's crazy. It doesn't even matter. I can use brioche. I can use regular.
Ooh.
I can use.
Ciabatta.
It doesn't matter.
Look at his eyes. I've never
doesn't
seen
matter.
Joique so
Okay.
sick.
I'm a beast. I can use a hamburger bun.
I just want to what you use.
And make it a sandwich. Make it a French toast sandwich.
I can take a hamburger bun. I can take croissants. I can whatever.
But like you're cooking on a Sunday morning for your family, and they want French toast. What bread are you using for your French
Whatever's in there.
toast?
Italian.
Okay.
Whatever's in there.
Ooh, that sounds good, D-Man.
Italian. I've cooked with
Italian's the
Italian.
best.
Italian
Right.
is great. I've done it with that. It's rich. It's thick.
The look in your eyes. I've never seen so much passion.
And then I have a secret recipe.
That look, Art? Start talking with me. You'll see that look coming this side.
Because people don't understand. It's not just cooking it.
No. People are going to your IG right now and checking it out.
It's the batter. It's the batter you use, right? It's the batter that you make, right? And I have a secret recipe that I put into my batter.
It's like the barbecue sauce.
What is it?
Like the barbecue
say it on
sauce.
cam.
Well, of course he's not going to do that.
Why would I say it on cam? I need to box up this batter and start selling it. I need to.
You should go on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
You want to make
and now that I have, and I can make it. I can make it vegan. I can make it
nice.
Right. I can make it vegan if you want.
What about gluten free?
I can make it gluten free.
But the French toast,
the bread could be gluten free.
Cinnamon bread.
I'll be over this weekend.
Cinnamon bread French toast.
I'll be over this weekend.
No.
Yeah,
no, you won't.
I'll be over this weekend, Joique.
We're gonna take a break. We'll put this one to bed.
Waiting.
Well, hey, Mike G on the YouTube thread, real quick, says Neal low key drops bars.
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
Low key drops bars.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
And just be prepared. We have something for you guys, and we're gonna let you guys know in the next segment. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Call Sam Chopper Shop, where you can win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time.
Watch as the Bad Pig Custom team turns this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
And when it's finished, we'll be donating the bike to Volunteers of America, Michigan to raffle off in support of our vets.
A great cause to give back to those who've given so much.
Watch for Call Sam Chopper Shop episodes on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/chopper shop.
Welcome back. Final segment of the show. Big D Energy. He's Joique Bell. He's Darren McCarty. My name is Neal Ruhl. Coming down the stretch. More comments coming in. And Mike G says, a hot dog between two slices of French toast is a sandwich, Neal. No, it's not. It's a hot dog with French toast for a bun.
Texas toast, eggs, cinnamon, vanilla. Yep. Elijah Roberts says, Texas toast, which as a kid, that's what I used to use, Texas toast, egg, cinnamon, vanilla, and he's missing out so many other ingredients. But go ahead, you enjoy your plain Texas toast, French toast. But maple syrup, scrambled eggs. What?
See, since I got off eating sugar, that really has eliminated a lot of the breakfast stuff.
But no, they have sugar-free syrup that you can use.
But Joique, like I'm hardcore, like sucralose and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I don't do that either.
No,
like,
it's sugar-free though. It's
how
no sugar.
good is sugar-free
It's
syrup?
actually, I eat sugar-free. I eat sugar-free syrup, and it's delicious. Like,
it just has
when
all
you
the
don't eat
cancer
sugar.
in it.
Yeah, like people don't understand. Like when you don't eat sugar, the sugar-free stuff becomes good because you don't eat sugar.
All right, I'm telling you,
it's a great point.
Also,
yeah.
But it's another sugar they have out. That's
I can't believe it's not sugar.
Can you, like, have you like no carbs? No. Have you ever had like the monk fruit sugar? Like,
I haven't had that.
Because do you do natural sugars like bananas, apples,
like
no fruit?
No, I really stay away watermelon, cantaloupe, apples, oranges, bananas. I do strawberries, blueberries, blackberries. Like it's hardcore, Joique. For real, it's hardcore, man.
Can I ask why did you do that?
Because I was 338 pounds, man.
You were 338 pounds?
Yeah,
338 pounds, yeah.
Big boy deal.
Yeah.
It was a big boy
and then I just
deal.
quit eating
You got
sugar.
half a Neal.
Yeah.
What was that, Joique?
It was a big boy deal.
Big boy, yeah.
Yeah. So I need to make some changes, man. So,
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You look great.
So thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Neal looks great.
Neal does look great.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. D-Mac.
Yes.
You got something popping tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, I wanted to put this a little bit together. Anybody who follows me, Darren McCarty 4 on Twitter, or DMAC OSB, or all the Darren McCartys, you know my affinity and my love of my favorite sport, wrestling. While being around a lot of the independents and knowing a lot of guys. At the last IWR event, something happened. So I put a little clip together to see what's happening. So tomorrow night, Thursday, in Monroe, 7 o'clock, Fraternal Order of Police on Strasburg Road. Check it out. Hey guys, Darren McCarty here, and I want to thank everybody at IWR Wrestling for allowing me to be the commissioner, the guest commissioner. But did you know that while doing my job, some clown named
Jockstrap
Chinstrap, I apologize.
He doesn't know Kyle Barrett.
thought I was doing some bullocks and making matches, and I split him. Anyways, he challenged me.
Darren, you may be the baddest man on the ice, but you can toss those hockey gloves to the side. Because in my world, I am the baddest man in the ring.
He challenged me. Now, I know it's wrestling and stuff like this, but I plan August 26th at the FOP. Yes, you better be there. I will be there. I got a month to train. I'm not bringing any hockey skills. I'm bringing all wrestling skills. Chin strap. Buckle up, buddy. Choke you out. That's Darren McCarty. I'm going to be here in the ring. See you there, too. August 26th. IWR Wrestling. Let's go.
Oh.
The debut of Stone Cold Grind Time Wrestling. Yes, I have the D-Max Stunner, which if you, it's actually called the Stoner. So if you want to see it put on display, I am going to teach old. His name is Kyle Barrett, Chin Strap Jesus, but I call him Jock Strap Cletus. So that's tomorrow night. Anybody wants to be down? We got a lot of the Impact guys. Obviously, Rhino and Connor facing each other. Trey Miguel, Cody Diener, along with the Death Threat Army, all the rest of the guys. So I will be down there. I also wanted to say, Art, if you could show those pictures that I have. I got a couple, want to show a couple things. So, can you pull it out so you see her squirt or no? Okay.
Oh.
Happy first day of kindergarten, Quinn. I love the hair, but the best part is her dad sent me a pic, which we can't see. It says, who goes to the first day of kindergarten with a black leather skirt? And I said, my niece. So, Quinn, have a great first day at school. And then the other picture.
That's
so
great.
all of you know, we've kept, that is Avery Louise McCarty. She'll be 21 next month. So that's my middle daughter. She was in town for the weekend, so we got to see each other.
Yeah, I got a chance to meet her yesterday. Yeah.
So I thought just a little update, because a lot of yous have seen over the years of the kids in the parades and stuff. Well, they keep getting bigger, and all mine are out in California, but it's great to see them, and thanks for letting me share, guys. Hope to see everybody tomorrow night. I am going to, it gives me an opportunity to flip back into DMAC mode, right? It's game on. Something to prove. And just
Commissioner
what I'm going
DMAC,
to prove,
too.
I don't want to get in the ring, but the fact is if I'm around, there's some legitimacy.
I like the fact that you're the commissioner like Jack Tunney of the old WWF.
There it is. There's the skirt.
She's
See
so
that
cute.
black, who wears it? That's a great, she's going to have a great,
You know what's funny,
great
D-Mac?
academic career.
You know what's funny? So yesterday I had to drive to my daughter's preschool for the parent orientation, and seeing her just kind of is get me in the position and get me in the mindset of my baby girl, my princess is about to start preschool. That's crazy.
Joique, it's the best.
Shout out to you, cool Clyde.
Yeah.
Daddy
Joique,
loves you.
It's the best when your kids have that first day of school, man.
That's gonna be great.
It is the best.
I will be here. Might be late because I have to take her to her first day. Like,
you have to do that.
Whatever you need to do.
Yeah. September 10th, her first day. I have to be there. I have to watch her get out of the car.
Absolutely.
I have to watch her walk away.
Joique, it's the best.
If you can take anything from me, they grow up quick. So enjoy every moment you can, and you put yourself in a position to do it. Like some parents aren't able to. So
my son will be a senior next year.
Best take it.
And what you said, it goes by quick. But when you have that boy and you have that girl, me and Sean will talk about this on the show, that when you have your son, and we kind of were in the same position because his son was older, my son is older, and I just feel the way that I am with them are different. Are different. Like, love them both the same.
100%.
Because I feel like I'm my daughter's protector. I'm a protector.
And our son, at least my son,
we have to prepare him to be a protector.
Right.
But I have to protect him. You know, as far as giving him knowledge. These are the things you do. This is how you handle certain situations. But with my baby girl, whatever you want. The moon, I got it, baby.
Daddy will go get the moon for you.
I got you, baby.
My favorite thing is, like, they could both do the same violation, right? Like, drop a paper on the floor, and my son is going to be reminded to pick it up much differently than my daughter's going. I'm honest about it. What you got, Fish?
I've always been confused. Why do they start certain schools on a Friday?
Well, you know what? For preschool, I mean, I guess it's a good time for them to start. Go there for the first day, and then they have a couple of days off. They have the weekend off versus starting Monday, and it can be overwhelming. And then for her, it's only Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it's half a day.
And then do you guys think they should start school before or after Labor Day?
After
Labor Day.
After. I definitely think so.
I mean, that's how it was when I was in school. It was always after Labor Day.
Don't forget, everybody, Michigan, Little League World Series, Taylor against Hawaii tonight at 7:30. D-Mac will have a full recap on tomorrow's show. I'll be locked in.
Pete's Place down in Taylor. That's where they're all watching it.
Absolutely. So, appreciate everybody
watching.
watching.
Watching the game tonight, Art.
What?
Catch you guys tomorrow. Catch you guys tomorrow. Gang.
Oh, see you later.